Now we're going to look at the standardized normal distribution and finding values that are greater than the value, or probabilities that are greater than the value of x you're looking for. So let's take a concrete problem. We're back to the gas station. The owner still has 1,100 gallons in his tank, and he still has an average of 1,000 gallons sold each day with a standard deviation of 100. And he wants to know what is the probability that he will not have enough gas to meet today's demand. So let's look at this graphically. We're back to 1,100 gallons. That's the value of x. But before, we wanted to know what was the probability that he would have enough. In other words, he would sell 1,100 gallons or less. Now I want to know the probability that he doesn't have enough. In other words, what's the probability that he will sell more than 1,100 gallons in a given day? So represented graphically, we're now looking for the right side of 1,100 on this graph as opposed to the left side. Well, our z-scale and our z-tables always give us a cumulative probability that starts at negative infinity and goes up to the point that we have chosen, or the value of x. The chart doesn't give you the value greater than x. But if you recall from our original analysis of the normal distribution, everything under the curve added together has to equal 100, 100% or 1.00. So if we know how much is to the left of the line, then whatever's left over on the right side, if you add those two together, they have to equal 1. So if you find one side of the line, you automatically know the other side simply by subtracting the first one from 1. So let's take a look at how we would solve this. We would actually set it up exactly the same way. We put in 1,100 gallons minus the mean of 1,000 divided by 100. This would give us the same z value as before, which is 1, which we would then look up on our z chart, and we would get 1.00 with a probability of 0.8413. But if you will recall, this z chart is now telling us the probability of selling less than 1,100 gallons is 84.13. We want the probability that we're going to sell more than that. So what we do down here, if there's an 84.13% probability that he will have enough gas to fill demand today, then there's a 15.87% probability that he will not have enough gas to fill demand. We found this by simply subtracting the value that was less than, the probability of less than that amount, from 1. Getting the complement gives you what's to the right of that value. So the way you solve a greater than x problem using the formula is simply treat it as a less than problem, get your answer, then subtract that answer from 1. So it's really the same steps as we saw in the previous video. We're simply adding one more step at the end, which is take your answer of what is the probability of less than and subtract it from 1.